Augustine did his little teleporty bit, let Belathine know that everything was chill to leave, and then jumped back to you.
God, I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog. Jesus.
So Belathine, I'm assuming, is meeting up with Emalynde.
She goes to his bedroom and raps her knuckles on the door.
You hear just not deep, but loud music coming from the room, and you hear, 1 second.
She pauses for the span of a single second and then opens the door.
Locks stop her from opening the door.
She rattles it on I guess it's a turning knob? Rattles the knob a little bit. Okay. She sighs.
A moment later, you hear like 4 or 5 different bolts slide from the door, and O'Malley opens it like a quarter of an inch. What do you want?
How many Gangrel packs do you know in the area?
The door opens as he looks at her in confusion. Gangrel packs in the area? Why do you want to know this? It's not that I'm not going to tell you, but I have to think on that one.
Are you perhaps familiar with the Wolf's Head pack? It seems our assailant is not only Gangrel, but associated with this gang.
I am familiar with them. Group of mean bikers.
Do you know an Edmund Fairway by chance?
I don't know any of them by name, just by reputation.
Do you think these individuals are going to give us trouble because that golden vampire is part of their pack, and if I want to deal with him, I don't want his beastly friends, members, pack mates, whatever the fuck you want to call them, to cause any more problems. This dealt with in quickly.
They're not going to take kindly to you coming in demanding information about one of their own. You'd best be finding him off on his own, away from the pack. Otherwise, you're going to need what I'd like to call extreme violence.
Well, that's why I have you, don't I?
He kind of looks around. The last time we did this, Aiden got real upset with me.
Well, Aiden and I really quite need this taken care of. I don't want Invictus breathing down our necks for longer than I need to bear.
Well, then I think we should probably go have a chat with everybody downstairs.
About what you know concerning this...
About what's going to need to be done.
She seems exasperated. Well, you're going to know how to deal with this better than I.
And I'm going to need backup.
Well, I thought the point was to get him on his own. You don't need backup if he's on his own.
I don't think you understand gangs or Gangrel to begin with. Sure, if we can find him on his own, y'all could deal with him. However, you might need to smoke him out, burn him out. Hell, we might need to cut through the rest of his gang to get to him. Do you have...
She sighs as if this is the most tedious thing she could possibly be dealing with.
I can get you information on where they're at. And if you'd like to go and talk to them, you're more than welcome to. Work your girlish charm and whatnot. I'm sure they like harlots over there.
She narrows her gaze, but she seems to like... This is a normal exchange between them. I'm not sure how to best interact with dogs, but I'm not sure they're quite intelligent enough to appreciate wit and charm.
While I appreciate that you're trying to make light of the situation, not all Gangrel are dogs, I hope you know.
Perhaps just you, then.
That's just hurtful.
She actually, like, smiles, like a genuine, like, I'm fucking around with my, like, brother, we're being sibling-ish.
Looks her up and down, but I guess it'd take one to know one, wouldn't it?
Oh, damn. Don't blame me for the choice of attire. It's Aiden's.
Well, can't say that I blame him, if we're being honest.
As in, like, he also appreciates the...
Yes.
She looks at him and, like, screws up her face. As in, like, your brother just said you looked hot in your new outfit. And she just kind of... Ugh. And she turns around. She's probably not going to go back downstairs. Oh, but O'Malley said to go back downstairs. So she walks a little bit and then turns back. Are you coming?
He looks around. Fine, let's do this.
It's not like you were doing anything important anyways.
He ignores her. Looks back. Did you say something?
No.
That's probably for the best. And they take the elevator back down.
Question: while this conversation is happening,
Yes.
can I go behind the bar where O'Malley grabbed the keys and pour? Is that where alcohol would be, like wine? Yeah. Would that also be there? Can I grab a bottle and pour a glass of wine for Cara Lamont, myself, and Aiden, but also look to see if there's anything else of interest there? Since I was watching before.
You're not giving us blood wine, right?
No. I would have enough.
Roll me. That's going to be dexterity and let's go wits plus composure.
I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm just
wits plus composure then.
Wits plus composure. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 3 successes and a failure. So 2 successes plus an exploding. So 2 successes.
All right, yeah. So you notice that there's a couple of keys there.
Nothing else of great note.
They all look like car keys.
Okay, sure. Lamont, Cara, a job well done. I think deserves a glass of wine. We've already gotten gifts from our so kind benefactor. Please. And I offer them each a glass.
Thank you. Cara takes it, doesn't drink it.
Aiden takes it. Go ahead.
Takes it. It's like all down at once.
Ooh. To your liking, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Aiden, a glass?
Aiden said, absolutely. I'd love a glass. Thank you. To a job well done, and hopefully more to come.
Yes.
And he toasts.
Before we do the toast, I'm going to grab the same bottle and just refill Lamont's a little bit to make sure there's wine in there, because toasting in an empty glass is bad, yeah. Cara, would you at least toast even if you won't imbibe?
Of course.
I'm glad you're not someone without all manners.
Oh, ouch.
Damn!
And ching, take a nice swig.
Yep, Aiden downs the glass.
As the elevator doors open.
Yeah, and O'Malley and Belathine walk out.
Oh, before she goes back down, I'm so sorry, I forgot.
You're fine.
She takes off her outfit and she puts on her normal clothes.
Okay.
Has Cara seen any indication of computers around here?
There would have been... Not that you've seen, actually, no.
Okie dokie. So she holds on to the USB drive.
Okay. Belathine and O'Malley come back. Belathine is not wearing the outfit anymore. Aiden kind of holds a hand up to his heart. Like, damn. I see you. Being rude, taking off his outfit that he gave you.
Well, everybody else got stuff. Like, it's not special anymore.
But you got 2 gifts.
Yeah, you got 2. And the sexiest one.
No, that's a matter of opinion.
I mean, fair. The cashmere sweaters.
On point. Crime sweaters.
So O'Malley walks out. All right, fucking degenerates, sit down, shut up, and let's fucking figure this out. And he sits down, looks around at everybody else having wine glasses, and gives the, like, what the fuck hands. Gets up.
Emalynde will actually get up before him
Mm-hmm.
because she's still appreciating his assistance, and gets up and gets blood.
Okay.
And selects a blood wine for them because I think she needs her daily vitae. For blushing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
She pours him a glass.
So, and he continues, my understanding here is that you're after a gangrel who's a part of a biker gang, yeah?
Yes.
What's a gangrel?
Gangrel is a type of vampire. There's different kinds. A couple of posh nitwits you see here called Deva. They're not really useful for much, if you ask me. But, you know, they're good to look at.
I don't know. Emalynde immobilized a whole room full of guys back there.
Oh, let me guess. She did it with her sexuality. Mm.
What's Aiden's face look like?
Aiden's face?
Yeah.
Aiden's face is currently being hidden by a glass of wine that he is currently trying to slowly drink while staring daggers at Belathine.
She holds his gaze, smirks, and sips at her wine and sets it back down, and then looks back at O'Malley.
O'Malley catches it and looks over at Aiden. She probably did. Probably a group of them, Aiden. Yeah, bet you like that, don't you?
God damn.
Looks back. So again, you got the wee posh ones that aren't really good for much. Call them the Deva. Gangrel are more bestial. Stronger, faster, wee bit more violent. Pack-oriented.
They'll tear you open and take your insides out.
That is 100% accurate. And so, your friend is one of them. Mean sons of bitches. Meaner when you put him in a pack. Meaner when you make him a bunch of gang members. So, we can make the assumption that this isn't going to be easy. I know where this specific gang likes to hang out, so what we can do, we've got a couple of options. We can go in guns a-blazing and fuck the entire place up.
As much as I know you would enjoy that, it would perhaps be to our benefit and the benefit of the first tradition, if I need remind you, to keep this as discreet as possible. I know you don't want Invictus showing up on our doorstep.
I'm not worried about Invictus, because the first rule is only violated if there's people left alive to tell the tale.
You don't think someone's going to ask about ashes and destruction spread in a 5-mile radius?
It's a gas fire, gas leak, environmental hazard, waste. Pick your poison.
She rolls her eyes, but lets him continue.
Lamont, Kara, do you two follow traditions?
This is the first I've heard of it.
I don't.
No, not this tradition, just traditions. Do you adhere to any? Do you abide by them? Do you break them?
I mean, my family celebrated Christmas every year when I was growing up.
That's sweet. Lamont?
I mean, I'm familiar with them. My grandmother was religious, but I'm not.
See, Belathine, we don't have to be so strict. I think O'Malley has a point. You can make up whatever you want so long as nobody sees you.
Belathino gives him another displeased glance. It's not outright frustration or aggravation, but it's a look, boy.
Give me that displeased look.
Yes.
The both of you do not have to suffer the extent of consequences that might arise should this go amiss.
Can't you just charm them, Belathine?
It's so difficult to get Mats to pay attention to anything other than meat. And so, no, it is much more difficult to ensnare the wits of those without them.
Hmm. What about one of these two? Lamont could be a good bait.
Belathine shuts that down pretty quickly. As much as your plan sounds amusing, we do need these two.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Pity.
She doesn't elaborate, and you do notice that she pauses. So it's likely that she made a quick calculation of whether to disseminate information and chose not to.
So Emalynde takes the floor again. So we have a name, we have a location. We need to figure out if he's with them, yeah, and if he is, we need to get access to him and figure out what the fuck he's doing.
So I have somewhat of an informant within the establishment that he frequents on a weekly basis. We could perhaps wait until that informant contacts me to say that this individual has either arrived at the bar, has more valuable information to disseminate, and we might be able to address this in a way that is not quite so garish and ostentatious. That is much more discreet and keeps our ends tied neatly.
You can be discreet and still have fun, Belathine.
Oh, quite. But let's keep our fun to a minimum here and address the issue at hand.
O'Malley pipes up again. I agree with the weirdo in the corner. I've got like 20, 50 pounds of C4 waiting around to be used. You sneak me in there, we can blow that place sky high.
Question for you, O'Malley. Do your kind appreciate a live meal?
What do you mean, your kind?
Oh, you know, those with a bit more of the bestial nature.
We like to hunt. It's part of our nature.
What about, could we not go on a hunt with them? How trusting is a pack to maybe just someone accompanying them?
Not even kind of. They're super suspicious of anyone and more likely to rip your head off than give you the time of day. That's why I say shoot first. Don't worry about asking questions.
O'Malley, can you teach me to use explosives?
He gives a quick look towards Aiden and then says, I can do that.
Hey, that's cool.
Belathine interjects. Absolutely not.
I didn't realize you were her keeper.
I'm yours. That's enough for the situation.
No, Aiden's the one that pays the bills, not you.
She looks immediately over to Aiden as if dividing and conquering parents.
Aiden looks over, kind of takes a moment to determine whether or not this is a fight that he wants to have, and kind of gauges his jealousy at the fact that informant at this location, he knows exactly what that means for a Deva. But then stops. I don't think there's a reason to teach the girl how to use explosives. Yet.
Belathine gives a fuck you look to O'Malley and smirks victoriously.
Kara is really disappointed.
But I can teach her how to shoot a gun.
If as much is necessary for self-defense. Humans are so ungainly, and I don't wish for her to shoot herself in the face or something.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Is there a Camille and I didn't see? Hi, Camille!
She blew you a kiss.
Aw.
I think we can find some time to teach the humans about firearms and firearms safety. Aiden let me keep quite a collection. But that's besides the point before I get too excited. I think what we need to do is figure out a little bit more about this gang and possibly a little bit more about this person. Points at Augustine, like he's forgetting your name. We're gonna, maybe you can get information on him. We've got a name. Maybe you can find out where he lives.
I've already on it.
Wonderful. Well, then I think the next step is to prep for a full-blown invasion.
No, we're not blowing things up. Or
Always
massacring
blow.
anyone.
You could blow the pack up. Why don't we use some bait? How likely is a pack to follow a deer into a clearing set with C4?
I like the way this one thinks.
Do we even know why he attacked me?
We don't as of yet, which is something we do need to find out instead of just murdering everything in our path like animals. She looks at Augustine. I expected as much from O'Malley, but not from you. I had assumed your kind was more calculating and intelligent. She turns back to O'Malley. We're not blowing anything up. We need him alive so that we can question him. This is not an isolated incident. Use your brain.
All right. We need him alive. Kind of taps his nose and points at Augustine, and that's it. So, we'll make sure that that happens.
She again looks at Aiden, as in like, why are you not helping? Why are you not interceding? Going downhill.
Aiden's just kind of smiling and watching the chaos. He's, all right, all right. Everybody, we need to come up with some sort of plan that's better than this, all right? Let's get some more information. Maybe we can find out where he lives. That is a good chance to move forward with that. And maybe we can get more, maybe if, let me take a step back as this and start into that sentence again. Maybe if we take a better look at the information that y'all gathered, we might be able to come up with something additional. Is there anything that we've got, he looks around at everybody, that we haven't gone over with a fine-tooth comb?
I'll take out the USB drive. I've got pictures of the gang, or a short video footage of them and their bikes.
That is fantastic, actually. That is exactly the kind of information that we would be looking for. O'Malley, bring a computer. And he snaps. Quickly now. O'Malley just kind of like looks over at him, rolls his eyes, stands up, knocking his chair backwards onto the ground, moves off to Aiden's office. If y'all have anything that y'all want to do before then, feel free. But he'll be coming back with a computer.
I'll take a couple sips of my wine.
All right.
I still think, Aiden, that we could always use someone as bait if the need arose. You know of anyone you're looking to dispose of?
Aiden thinks on that. I might have a couple of people, but it's just such nasty work.
Well, you won't have to touch anything. Don't worry.
If it comes to that, I'm sure we can find somebody that needs to be replaced.
What about Lamont? Do you have any relatives you're looking to make disappear?
No, no relatives.
No? No one?
No.
Hmm. We're all so stuck on things.
Oh, I just don't have any left.
Oh, well, that's a difference. I'm glad to hear you at least have a good reason. Anyone else you like to dispose of?
Hmm. I could probably think of a few, but I don't think they'd go willingly.
Keep those in mind. If I
That's-
go searching for secrets, though, Lamont, I would need you, I think. You are skilled, I will admit, in lockpicking. And who knows what sorts of triggers or traps this Edmund might have placed in his residence.
Yeah, nods his head. You know. Glad he's still able to make himself useful, so he's not dead yet.
All right. So, real quick, we're going to touch on clues. Who has the list of clues available?
Me.
All right. How many clues do you have?
3.
So, as a group, you can decide how to use these clues. They work kind of like willpower. They give you a +3 die bonus towards investigations involved in piecing together the final conclusion. So you have 3 clues. Each of them currently can be used once. You may come across clues at some point that have multiple uses, but keep that in mind as you continue your investigations. So right now, O'Malley comes back with a computer and places it in front of Kara. So you can load up the video footage if you would like to.
Sure. Do I need to make a roll?
Nope, you don't need to make a roll because you're not trying to do it in a speedy fashion. So you get it up and running, and would you like to just run through all of the video bits that you took?
I'll go straight to the one with him arriving with the gang.
Okay, so as you're going back over that footage, I want you to give me an Eye for Strange roll.
Okay. Do you remember what I roll? Because I don't have it open.
I've got it pulled up. Intelligence plus composure. And if you want to use any willpower or a clue, now would be the time to do so.
You don't think 7d10s is enough?
I'm just giving you the option.
2 successes.
Nice.
2 successes? All right, so that... Now that you're going back over this footage, you notice something weird. His eyes don't look right. The way that he moves doesn't look right. There is something going on with him that is supernatural past the point that he's a vampire.
What color are his eyes?
They are kind of they kind of look like when you've got cataracts across your entire eye,
Okay.
like fully grayed.
Is it black and white footage though? As like I know a lot of video cameras and like footage still kind of
This is
are.
black and white footage, so it's hard, but it looks like everything is kind of glossed over in his eyes.
Oh, that's right. She met him in person. Okay,
Yeah.
so she knows for sure they're not yellow.
And so,
Yes?
yes.
Okay.
And so this gives you a really weird vibe, Kara. Something isn't right here, and your like sixth sense for strange things goes off.
Oh,
This is not a normal vampire, or if it is, something else is happening.
whoa, there's something weird about this dude, guys. Like, he's not like the other vampires. Can you see it? He's like, he just doesn't move right.
No, he doesn't.
If Belathine's not sitting nearby, she's going to come around the table and lean in and peer at the screen. Are you talking about his eyes?
Well, I think that's part of it, but he's like, he doesn't move like the others.
Oh, his gait is it like kind of like drowsy, like wiggling kind of thing, or is it like stumped? How's he walking?
It looks more quick, unnatural movements,
Okay.
like not the normal gait that a person would have casually walking. It's almost forced. So at this point, you gain another partial clue set.
Okay.
Well, actually, before you get that, roll an investigation roll. We can do the two of y'all can help each other again.
Okay.
Whoever wants to do that.
Me and Bellathine?
No, you and Kara, because I think y'all are the
Belle
only
doesn't
two
have
with
it.
investigation.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to roll, Kara? I can help you.
I don't
we'll
care.
do
I think
fluidity.
your investigate is probably stronger than mine.
Or do we want to maybe switch it as far as like a narrative thing, right? Like if I'm
Yeah, I mean, I
as a
wouldn't have any
vampire,
idea.
right? You wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah,
So,
supernatural stuff's not my wheelhouse.
Lamont also has a point in investigation if he would like to help as well.
Okay. How do I do that?
So you're going to roll intelligence plus investigation.
Fair.
And every success adds one.
If you get a success, he gets an extra dice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So right
Intelligence and investigation. So that's
now I
total
get
4.
5. Do I get more?
Belthine does want to turn to Aiden. I
Nothing.
don't
Two.
think it was
Nothing.
Strix.
It was a watch.
Did they cancel? Yeah.
What was that, Emma?
Belle, like, while they're doing that, while they're investigating the footage, she looks at him and, in an attempt to recollect, says, I don't think he was Strix. Did you catch any reflection in his gaze?
Aiden says it does not appear to be Strix to me either. I don't think we need to worry about that.
She seems quite visibly relieved, and Anthony Augustine would likely be very startled and then very relieved as well. The Strix are like shadow entities that can possess vampires, and it's really bad shit. They're almost impossible to kill.
Yeah. So question on the investigation. If Lamont rolled 2 successes and 2 failures to assist, does that work as like normal die rolls where it would just cancel?
Correct.
Okay, that's what we thought. So then I got also a wash. I got
Okay.
floating and another success, but 2 ones. So
All right, so as of right now, it doesn't look like you all have enough information to piece the next clue together. You've got a couple of partials, which is going to be his Haitian, the accented Creole, as well as the eyes. Both of those are a part of a partial clue set.
can Bellathine, can you so completely charm someone to make them act differently than they normally do? Not just perform an action, but to change, to break a mind. Do you have that ability to Devas?
She narrows her gaze a little bit. Sometimes clans can be protective of their specific discipline sets. But she takes a moment to decide how to answer and chooses to make use of what she does know. I am able to bend an individual to my specific will, but I cannot alter who they are as an individual, if that's what you're getting at. There are other Deva more powerful than I who can... She pauses a moment to consider her diction. Program an individual to act a certain way should an event come to pass. But I cannot alter permanently an individual's preferences, an individual's personality traits. I could perhaps forbid one, but unless it's a direct command, no.
Mm.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Does.
Let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. Unless y'all have something else, I have something for y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So I think at this point, I think Aiden would most likely offer this up. Take a couple of days to further our investigations. Mechanically, what this means is we can aim to do long-term research-like actions where we would make a couple of rolls per day, and that would just be, we wouldn't like role play out each day, just to see like what kind of information could be gathered.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the way that y'all want to go, unless y'all think y'all have a lead that you would like to go with.
I mean, we don't know where he lives, right? Like, I'm sure I could maybe find out, but I don't know if there's a whole lot else, right? Maybe.
So things that could be done here are you could do some occult research into what this could be. You could do investigation into where does this person live. I think those are probably the two best options right now.
Yeah, because Belle and Aiden can't interact with him personally because he knows what they look like. And clearly, Kara. So we're somewhat limited because I can't dominate mind or be persuasive or anything because he knows her.
Yeah.
And she's already tried to intercede.
But looking at y'all's stuff, it makes sense to have, and this is just coming as DM to kind of give you all an idea since this is a new system for everybody, to have Augustine do some occult investigation into the eyes and what might cause this kind of behavior, which you can work alongside Kara, who also has a little bit of occult training. I mean, I guess Lamont does as well, but Lamont would be the perfect individual to find out where he lives through streetwise and gangs, because he is so very well connected. So I don't know if those are paths that y'all would want to go on, as much as I'm just trying to help give y'all an idea of like what some options are.
I think that would make sense.
I mean, Carol would love the opportunity to get her hands on some like books that normal people don't get to see.
Lamont, do you think with your connections that you would be able to locate Edmund? Not where they are, but they have been, where they live, things like that.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
I think between Lamont and Bellathene's skill sets, they would be able to would very easily be able to attain that kind of information working together.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous about him getting spooked because he recognizes her. And I mean, like, striking looks is great, but it makes her very, like, memorable.
Right, and that's why you have Lamont, who goes out, finds the people that needs to be talked to get information, and then brings Bellathene in to get the information if they're not willing to just divulge it, which is most likely.
Okay.
You can just talk people into going to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamont could totally just, hey,
That is
club
true.
promoter now. Come to the club, and then Bellathene could be like, look at me, motherfucker.
I'm not just a skeezy drug dealer anymore. I am a skeezy club promoter. I'm moving up in the world.
I'm selling drugs out of this club, guys.
Yeah. I'm not just selling drugs in a back alley anymore. I got a roof over my head.
And a sweet bedroom.
Hell yeah.
So I think that, like,
Don't have to pay for.
yeah,
Right.
the two pairs would be very good at investigating the two current leads that y'all have. What do y'all think? Is that something that y'all are interested in, or do y'all want to come up with a different plan?
No, that's
Oh, that
pretty-
sounds like the plan that I would have suggested, at least for Lamont.
Then I think that if everybody is in agreement, that is probably where we will pick up in the next episode.
Okay.
Do you need us to make any rolls in the meantime for that research?
Yeah.
No,
Or do we do it at the
because
start of next episode?
we'll do that at the start of the next episode because I need to put that information together.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something we need to take care of.
Yeah, no. The game went in a completely different way when Steven was able to use that failure to bring in Freddy.
Yeah,
And then, so one of the things with this game that I'm starting to enjoy is allowing the players to make decisions. So to give you an idea, I didn't have Freddy showing up. That wasn't going to be a thing. And in addition, I didn't have Freddy being a known associate or had worked with Edward. I think that was Edmund and the gang until Anthony asked. And I was like,
That sounds like fun.
that sounds like fun.
Mhm.
And then we just kind of worked it into this. So I'm allowing the players to kind of help influence my decision making as we move forward.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of other things that they recommend to do, such as I come up with a list of NPCs for the day, right? And it could be like a detective, just random things. Detective, let's say O'Malley, we can even go with Freddy and some gang members. And that's like a list of NPCs that you as players can go, hold up, I'm going to use my once a game, and I'm going to pull this NPC into the scene. And you can go, you're in trouble. You know what? Maybe O'Malley's been looking for us. I want to use my like gift of gab, and I'm going to pull O'Malley into this scene. And here's how. And so that's one of the things that they recommend doing to give the players a little bit more control over how things go. I don't know if y'all are interested in that or not, but I wanted to bring that up. I didn't know if that's something that y'all like. I know Emma had expressed when we were talking about this that she wasn't a big fan of that, but not necessarily for the game, but just like her specifically.
It's more like we have to be very mindful of realism.
Mhm.
So if we're like doing something and it's like suddenly an O'Malley, it's like, well, is this a reasonable course of action? Is this something that would actually occur? I just didn't want us to cheese too hard, I think was my biggest concern.
Yeah. No, I think that is
mean-
definitely a concern.
I think that's a valid concern, but I also feel like all of us are fairly experienced role players who aren't gonna
Yeah.
do that sort of thing.
Because I like the idea of giving y'all the opportunity to completely change the dynamic of my story so that I have to react to it. Because we came up with a very... what's the term I'm looking for? It's gone just completely. It was on the edges of my thoughts. But like utilizing Steven's failure where he brought in Freddy changed the entire dynamic of this
Right,
session
it was great.
in a great way that made this entire session way better than I had expected. Like, I didn't expect y'all to get all of this information that just kind of naturally and organically occurred based on a player's choice to change the narrative. And I think adding things like that, obviously like too much is going to be too much, but an occasional thing, because like one of the things, like if you use O'Malley, you don't get to use O'Malley anymore, and he's off that list, and I get to choose when that list resets. So I will give y'all prompts, and y'all can use those prompts when you feel like it, but then they're gone. And I kind of like that idea, and I wouldn't mind trying it if everybody can agree, but like I'm also not going to throw a fit if we don't. I just thought it was an interesting concept that they brought up in the book.
It might be nice to have just to see, like, if it fits in a moment to be like, okay, well, who's here, right? I feel like it might be more interesting to know rather than like just random NPCs to say like, okay, well, we're going to be in a space, and I guess like you would plan this normally, but like make us aware more so of like who's there in that space. I don't know, but that's also just like normally being in a space. I don't know if like having a list of NPCs we can call on is really that useful for storytelling.
Yeah, I'll reread over the section because I know I'm giving a very like basic overview of it. and we can talk about it, and we can see how we feel. Because I really like the failure system and offering you failed a roll. Here's an experience. Let's see what happens. I really was enjoying that. But I think end of the session, everybody gets. Let's go with three beats just for finishing, plus any of the beats that y'all got for failures. Y'all got
only if we
one
get super failures, right?
Huh?
We get a beat. We only get a beat if we get super failure, right?
Right. Let's go with an extra beat for y'all found a clue. A beat for finishing the scene in general, so a full experience point
I would say that's
is what we're at right now.
Unless
Yeah, unless you had extra beats. And let's see here. Did anybody stick to their vice or virtue in a like big way? Because I think I already gave Emma a beat for doing that for Bellathine in the dominatrix scene. If you didn't mark that one down, you did get one for that.
Okay, I marked it.
Um,
Now,
Which means everybody, I think, got
an extra beat.
an extra beat. Does anybody want to nominate anybody for anything to get an extra beat for something that was just over the top great, perfectly to character?
I think we're pretty chill, at least in mine, because we got rewarded.
Mhm.
Yeah,
those
I think we all did
feats with
well.
beats
But
already.
Okay. Then,
I have to look up what we can spend experience on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
just
can now spend experience because y'all should have like 2.
Yeah. Everybody should have 2.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2 experience and then I guess 1 extra beat. No, I don't think I have any extra beats.
So feel free to spend experience on whatever you want. If y'all want to start, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say before we end, I wanted to have a conversation with Bellathine. It might just be like a few exchanging sentences, but I did want to.
Yeah, no worries.
Part wild and free.
Bellathine, I'm assuming you, after like it's kind of been like the break moment, right? Still angry with Aiden. Are you going straight up stairs?
It
Or
depends.
you
Are people like hanging around?
Augustine was going to pretty much leave because he's not living at the club, right? I know the room was
Right.
offered, but he's not staying there. I didn't know
Yeah,
if
it's
she was.
probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, so he's got a few hours till sunrise at least.
Because it depends. I won't necessarily, depending on what Bellathine is doing, right?
So if everyone's starting to like mill, unless Aiden approached her, she's probably not approaching him.
Is
So
it
she's available for the speaking.
sure? Would Aiden have approached her or not?
I
'Cause I know
apologize.
there
I was
was
looking at
David. There was David tension that was happening between lovers, right?
I feel like Aiden's probably going to approach her later after everybody has left, instead of doing anything else in public.
Okay. Augustine's going to go to Bellathine. I may not be as charming as a Deva. I wanted to maybe apologize for coming off on the wrong foot. I know we Mechets can be shadowy, uncertain, but you did well. I was impressed. I just wanted to say I like to work all angles, as I'm sure you understand. So no hard feelings?
Is she? I'm assuming he walked over to her from where she was sitting, right?
Yeah.
So she looks up at him, and she takes a second or two to appraise the sincerity in play here, because vampires are not the most upfront and genuine individuals. She takes a moment. I appreciate the sentiment. Simply know that moving forward we will have to be as contained and discreet as possible. Not only for the first tradition, which is somewhat of value here, but because there is more than in play that I feel we are not privy to. I do not wish to risk any of our existences and the ease in which we exist. Having to relocate because of complications would be taxing. I hope you understand.
Oh, I do. I do. Just don't be surprised if things take turns that are unexpected. And he winks at her. And turns.
She narrows her gaze and watches him walk. It's very difficult for her to tell if that's a veiled threat or simply an attempt at some impish mischief. But she watches him walk, and she does not conceal the fact, if he looks back at her at any point, that she's pretty much the same degree of skeptical.
For sure. No, I don't think I was expecting anything less than that. And it was definitely not a threat, right? For sure. But unknown.
She can't tell.
Yeah, or she can't tell.
Especially because vampires don't tend to get along with each other very well, as much as they like to pretend otherwise.
Right. And then as Augustine leaves, I did want to stop with Lamont and Kara and say goodbye to each of them for the evening. Where are you guys?
Probably still at the table with the computer, because I can't get
just
upstairs without an escort.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, you would be. Lamont, are you also at the table?
Yeah, I'm at the table with a cigarette in my mouth.
Okay.
I'm not actually smoking it, just.
I feel like
Lamont.
Bella wouldn't like that.
Lamont, it was a pleasure to see you work. I'm sure we'll see each other very soon. Just stay out of trouble. And keep that sweater. You look good in it.
He nods, kind of just affirming that you're speaking to him, but he's thoroughly creeped out.
Yep.
Aww.
It is a nice sweater, and Kara rubs the arm. Cashmere.
No, very nice. And Lamont's going to bend down to Kara as he leaves as well and say, you should ask Aiden to see if he has any interesting books to keep you up at night. I think I've heard that he's got quite a store somewhere. Might interest you. And keep your strength up. Maybe we'll have another romantic evening soon, Kara. And then he's going to leave. Sorry, I'm just trying to play into it, trying to get into that.
No, it's good.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
I have trouble figuring out how Kara would react to this.
Right.
Nervous laughter?
Probably.
Oh, man.
I'm going to disappear into the night, back to wherever I live.
Well, they offered you a spot in the penthouse if you wanted it.
Did not take it.
Okay.
Pointedly did not take it.
Sounds about right.
It's easier to, keep tabs.
Mm-hmm.
So, when Augustine does leave, I'm assuming O'Malley is chilling?
Yes.
Okay, well, she'll let them upstairs. She'll take them up if they want to go.
I want to ask Aiden about these books.
All right.
Lamont want to go upstairs?
Yeah, Lamont will go ahead and go upstairs. He's had a stressful day.
Yes.
So.
At minimum.
Aiden,
What about your cigarette?
It's not lit.
But you don't want to light it?
There's a balcony in each of y'all's bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
If he feels the need.
For smooking.
Not for smoking,
Right.
but if you do want to.
But if she comes and asks Aiden, Aiden just kind of gets this amused look, and he's like, "Ah, yes, we do have quite the eclectic collection. Are you interested?"
Yes.
Fantastic. I do love showing off. Come then, I will show you. And he will take her up the elevator to his study.
Okay.
And as he opens the doors to the study, there are just bookshelves surrounding the room with all sorts of different texts. And he says, "This is a small portion of what we've got. I had O'Malley digitize most of them, so easier access, I guess. But I still have a soft spot for the hardbacks. The smell is just intoxicating." And he just kind of closes his eyes and takes a deep inhale, and his chest just kind of shudders as he lets it out.
And it's okay for me to touch them and read?
Oh, yes. Just don't break them, get them wet, burn them, or otherwise ruin them. They're very expensive.
And can I get to the digitized books too, or is that asking too much?
Talk to O'Malley. I don't do much with computers and such. So complicated. And he just kind of like rolls his eyes a little bit.
Okay. They're not, though. They're not that complicated.
Maybe to you, but they just don't seem to work for me.
Right.
And he just kind of
Okay.
looks around. But yes, if you need access, just let me or O'Malley or Belathine know. I do lock this room up most of the time, so. And he
Okay.
kind of points a finger at her. Make sure to ask for permission first. And he walks her out of the room.
Okay.
He's not gonna let her grab a book?
Oh, I mean, yeah, he'll let her grab a book if she wants to. I guess he doesn't really have anywhere to go. So yeah, and if she wants to take a few minutes and like look, he will instead say, "I am going to go about. Have fun." And then
Oh,
he's
I
just gonna
will.
go wander.
So, with my 1 point in occult, I probably don't know what I'm looking for, right?
You can roll. So, well, yes and no. The way this kind of investigation works is we will set a number of days, a difficulty, and a number of successes required to succeed.
Mhm.
So it may be that it takes, 5 successes across 3 days, and you can make 2 rolls or 3 rolls a day, and after a number of failures, it's over.
Mhm.
So you might not know where to start at first, but you'll be able to work through it as a process.
Okay. So,
And-
that feels like I'm set up for our investigation.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then
Were you going to talk
anybody
to
else have
O'Malley?
anything? You want to talk to O'Malley? Is that what you said?
Well, I was wondering, no, Augustine just left. I was wondering if Emma had wanted to. You had mentioned briefly, I thought, but I wasn't certain. I heard there-
Emma did do the talking to Emalynde when she went up the first time.
Okay.
I assume she has to talk to Aiden, but we don't have to do that here. I did want to remind you, Merlin, that she does have that informant. He's not like...
Talk about Freddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if over the course of those days...
I will let that be a bonus.
What do you mean bonus?
Like a bonus die as you're doing things.
Okay. If the point was like if he does have anything
Mhm.
additional to let her know. If he comes in, to
Right.
let her know.
Yeah, no, I will make sure that we add that as a boost to some of the rolls.
Okay. However, it needs to.
We'll probably utilize it like a clue. Like you'll probably get a +1 to whichever roll that you want to add him to.
Okay.
So he'll be like, they use things like this as equipment, essentially. Like it is a piece of gear
Okay.
that you can choose to use at one point. So you have an informant piece of equipment. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
That's all I had. I just wanted to close out the evening.
All right. Did everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well then, thank you everybody for coming along on this journey with us. I hope you had a good time. I just asked that. I'm sorry. Thank you for playing with me. Thank you for letting me run the game. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks for the next game.